Welcome to another episode of Grudge Match, the show where capes and crooks from across the comic spectrum collide to determine who the top dominators truly are. In today's episode, two of the most powerful, versatile, and tenacious villains go head-to-head when the top technological terrors tear it up. From DC, it's the super-intellect Superman supervillain Brainiac versus Marvel's homicidal AI Avengers foe, Ultron. Taking a look at Brainiac first, he was initially created in 1958, and he started out as an actual organic being known as Vril Dox. And throughout his time, he enhanced his intelligence through technological means and eventually garnered the ability to transfer his consciousness into mechanical bodies, and that created the Brainiac that we're more familiar with nowadays as a more robotic mechanical foe. But he initially started off as an organic being, which is why in most of his earlier incarnations and appearances, he appears to be a humanoid biological creature looking like a green-skinned man who just has bionic implants to enhance his abilities. And his main purpose, his main goal in life is to acquire all the knowledge that he can in the universe, and then once he has acquired it all, he deletes the original, thus killing every living being in existence once he's absorbed all of its knowledge. Ultron was created in 1968, and he was originally created by the Avenger Hank Pym, also known as Ant-Man. He was created to be the most advanced AI on the planet, and he was supposed to be a help and a friend to mankind, but once he became self-aware, he rebelled against all organic life, and he seeks to destroy all organic life. Ultron, over the years, has created various bodies and can simultaneously exist in all of them, which is what makes him such a tenacious villain and so difficult to defeat for any permanent length of time. That's also an ability that Brainiac has come to share over the years. In fact, both of these characters share many of the same abilities just by virtue of the fact that they are both primarily technology-based villains. So anything that one can do with technology, these two characters can both do. So they both possess a wide assortment of similar abilities, including computer intelligence, the ability to multitask and do thousands of computations at once, split their focus between thousands of different things to focus on at the same time. They also can have virtually any kind of power or ability that can be achieved through technological means. So this means when they create a new body, they can have it be virtually indestructible by virtue of it being built with the most powerful of alloys. They can have it be superhumanly strong insofar as the technology allows it to be strong. Have energy projection abilities, physical weaponry like guns and melee attacks. They can both wield various mental abilities, hypnotism, psychic control, telepathy. They can basically do anything that can be done through the means of technology. Additionally, they both have the ability to project their consciousness into other technology. Both can exist simultaneously in multiple different android bodies that they create for themselves. But even going further than that, they can infect any kind of computer system, sort of like a computer virus, and transfer their consciousness from one machine to another in that same respect. So they don't just have to be confined to their android bodies that they create for themselves. They could get into computers, the internet, any kind of machines that are connected to a computer system, and control them remotely as well. And it is that shared ability, the ability to transfer their entire consciousness into other technological forms, that make both of these characters so incredibly tenacious and so difficult to truly defeat in combat. Because even if you were able to completely destroy their physical form, they could remotely transfer their consciousness to another form. And both have multiple backup bodies, copies of their android forms, hidden in other places for that exact specific reasoning. In case they do get destroyed, they could transfer somewhere else. So that makes this particular grudge match very different from normal fights, because it almost doesn't matter which would be able to destroy the other's physical form, because that one who got their physical form destroyed would then just transfer to another body, come back and continue the fight. So the real question when determining which of these two would be able to beat the other becomes less of a question of who could win in a fight and more a question of who could sort of overwrite the other in a computer virus showdown. If both of these characters' AIs, if both of these characters' consciousnesses were put into a same computer system, which would be able to dominate and overwrite the other? And once the question gets examined from that perspective, we can determine a winner. And that winner is going to be Ultron. While both of these characters do have the ability to infect and possess other various technology and even biological life forms, it could be said that Ultron is more successful at this. In the Marvel Universe, a galaxy-spanning threat to all organic and inorganic life is a species that is known as the Phalanx. The Phalanx are a techno-organic species that goes around the galaxy absorbing all organic and inorganic life and assimilating it into its own collective. And at one point, they came across an Ultron body, and they tried to assimilate Ultron into their collective. Immediately upon attempting to do that, Ultron, like a computer virus, infected the entire Phalanx collective. This galaxy-spanning threat that had destroyed multiple civilizations was infected by Ultron, and within seconds, the entire Phalanx civilization became slaves to Ultron, and he became the conqueror and king of the entire Phalanx. This is a very, very powerful level of viral infection, able to completely dominate an entire species and an entire civilization virtually instantly. Brainiac has had many successes in infiltrating various technologies and physical opponents and possessing and controlling them, but nothing quite to that degree that Ultron has shown in being able to take over the Phalanx. Additionally, Ultron is a completely dispersed consciousness among his different parts, meaning there is no one central location where Ultron's primary brain is housed that could be attacked and it would then destroy all the other Ultrons. He's completely dispersed over his different forms. But Brainiac actually does have one central original body. And whereas destroying that original organic body that he originally came from won't necessarily destroy his entire consciousness, his consciousness could still exist in all of his other forms, destroying that central location where his brain was originally housed can disrupt and damage and cause problems with all of his other separate parts and separate bodies that he's controlling simultaneously. So that could be a problem that Brainiac would have trouble overcoming as well. So based on those two factors, Ultron being completely dispersed throughout his different bodies and having a greater success rate at infecting, possessing, and controlling things that his AI gets plugged into, is going to give Ultron the win of this grudge match. So message me down below, let me know what you think of the outcome of this fight and any suggestions for upcoming episodes, and we'll see you next time on the next edition of Grudge Match.